All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission at 6:30 on August 30th, 2021. In accordance with the provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, the August 30th, 2021 public meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission will be held remotely. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM. You do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at LakeCAM TV. Okay, so moving forward to the first item on the agenda. Discuss truck being offered to the Park Commission. Now, do you want to give the background? Do you want me to, or?
Either or is fine.
Okay, well, I'll start in, I guess. Correct me where I'm wrong. The DPW has a truck available for us to use if we want to. It's right now it's at the park with a white pickup truck. The only issue with it, it is not roadworthy, so we could not get a sticker with it or for it. So I don't know why we would need it, especially if we can't take it on the road to drive to any of the other parks. Now, do you have anything else to add on that one?
No, the fire chief felt that it couldn't be repaired in order to get the inspection, but the highway department had been doing some stuff to the truck. So they might be an expert on what it needs and how much that would cost, but I'm thinking it's an older truck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody has any input. I don't see the need for us to have a truck just to drive it around Ted Williams, since we got the golf carts.
Agree.
Darlene, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree. I don't, if we don't need it, we don't need it. I mean,
does anybody see the need for it? Paula?
Yeah, we need it at Clear Pond. We have no vehicle, and when we do cleanup, we just take wheelbarrowfuls of stuff from one end of the basketball court all the way to the dumpster. And if they would be willing to drop it off in the spring, I know they can trailer it and pick it up at the end of the season. We could certainly use a truck or a golf cart. And if it's not, as long as we can drive it and it doesn't go on the road, we can use it. Either that or a golf cart. Is Tony here?
Yep.
Okay.
Any discussion on that? We'll touch base with the highway department and see if it can be roadworthy. But again, I mean, maybe there's other things we can use rather than have a vehicle. Then we get to figure out who's going to drive it or make sure no one takes it on the road. But
so
Yeah.
where is it going to be housed, Paula, in the off season?
Well, I believe that the DPW has a place they can park it. So if they can deliver it in the spring so we can use it, and we can leave it there for the summer for whatever use. It's not going on the road. We can't register it. But if it runs, then we certainly can use it. And then we could ask them to bring it back on their trailer in the fall and just leave it for the winter, because we really need something in the park to help us move things around, especially the cleanup.
so couldn't you just, if it's a cleanup day, couldn't you just have bring the golf cart down for the day, do that instead of having a truck doing it? You only need it for the cleanup day, and you got wheelbarrows, I'm assuming, for everything else, right?
Yeah, we took many wheelbarrows, Joe, over there, and it was a long process, unnecessary. Well, it was necessary, but I don't know that they're going to let us borrow a golf cart from the park.
I'm saying if just for the day, if it's a cleanup day, like I think that's what you mentioned. I mean, could certainly do that for a day. But that's it. I mean, I guess we'll follow up and see if we can make it roadworthy, see what they're doing with it. But to have it for 10 weeks, I mean, really, are we really going to use it in those 10 weeks rather than a day or two for cleanup?
Well, it depends on how much damage you have through the winter and how many leaves are down and stuff like that. And one of the problems is when we pull the raft out of the water. I mean, like yesterday, we didn't have 8. We only had like 7 or 8 people, and that wasn't enough to get the raft out. But if we could put a chain at the back of the truck, as long as you can drive it, it would help lift the draft out of the water too at the end of the season. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to leave it there parked, and the director can make sure that he uses it when he needs it, but it's not to be taken off the property. It's just there because we can't afford a golf cart. And I don't know that they'll let us use how long they'll let us use a golf cart for.
No, I don't think we need a golf cart there. I was just thinking it for that one day, the cleanup day. We still don't need people driving around on a golf cart. It's a pretty small place. I mean, but all right, I mean, we'll let Nellie follow up. We'll follow up Franklin and see what's going on with it, and we'll report back at a later date, right? Okay, second item, improvements currently happening. I don't know who put that on the agenda. Anybody? Nellie, do you know who put that on?
I probably did.
All right, then.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, what's this current scope of work with anything that's being done, so that, I mean, I know you and I have discussed that, so that's a little bit more clear now. But for anybody else wondering, I know there's some things that were started and just updates on those, and just where we're at with any improvements in the park system.
I guess maybe Darlene, maybe if you have something on the nature trail would fall under this.
I do. I have an Eagle Scout that came to me about the project. He has to go through some paperwork to make sure it's approved by the Eagle Scouts. He also has to fundraise for it as well. So he has walked around and looked at it. He's in love with the project, the idea, the concept, the story behind the trail and all that stuff. So he's doing his due diligence on his end. I did tell him that, the park commission would most likely come up with some money for him as well, as far as, maybe crushed stone or mulch or whatever he might need he wouldn't have been able to fundraise for. So it's a work in progress. He has to get approval first, and then we go from there, but he's very excited and very interested. So, it's going to happen. There's no doubt it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen tomorrow.
I guess just what about I know you've been working on the garbage folks for the playground.
I'm waiting for the sign. Once I get the go ahead and when the sign's ready, then we're going to post a date for, rededication, plantings and all that kind of stuff. John Crutchfield, I'm told, is making the sign. Della Rocco's are paying for it. So I'm just kind of waiting for the date. I've seen a prototype. It's beautiful. So just waiting for a date just to move forward.
Yeah. This weekend, Tony and I were walking around down there, and that needs a lot. It's a lot of overgrowth on that playground. So are we planning on doing any of that before we rededicate?
Oh, we definitely would do that before we have I just need a date for the sign, and then we'll move forward with a cleanup day and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Scott, you had your hand up?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Don't hold your breath, Darlene. We've been waiting for this sign for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. I've been in constant contact with Timmy for the last 3 years.
All right. Well, I will follow up again tomorrow then and talk John Crutchfield and see what's going on with the sign.
How do we want to handle the cleanup of the other weeds in there? I mean, who can we get to do that? It seemed like an awful lot of them.
Well, we have two choices, volunteers, or can we afford to pay somebody to do that? And then I guess we're going to talk about that when we talk about money.
Scott?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. The last time it got cleaned out good was done by Bobby and Linda. It took them almost the entire summer of their part-time hours that they had, other than their daily jobs that they needed to do, mowing and trash and whatever, the bathrooms and different things like that. But the two of them worked on it. It has to be 3 years ago now, and it took most of the summer to get it cleaned up.
Okay.
The thing behind that was that we were going to continue to keep them doing some each year, but with Linda retiring and Bobby's hours He reduced some of his hours. There wasn't a lot of time for them to do that. So unfortunately, it's taken a back seat.
Colleen?
I can see it working with volunteers, to be honest with you, a couple of days with volunteers, just like Tony and Paula had volunteers help out at the Clear Pond. I could see that. I could see that happening, you know? So
Mhm.
I think,
Yeah, it definitely really needs it. It's a lot of overgrowth all around the place.
and it's
There's
such a
also-
beautiful park.
There's also some other dedication up in the back of that. I don't know who that is. It's another boy's name on there.
Yeah, someone else dedicated a bench.
I
Stone-
did.
yeah.
I did. That was
Okay.
my bench for my mother. I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
had a bench dedicated for my mother there back in the day. She died shortly after Alex died.
But there was a stone up there with someone's name on it. A black stone with like white graving on it.
I don't know about that. I'll check that tomorrow. I'll check.
Yeah, again, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't really know about that, to be honest with you.
okay, so I'm assuming that's all the like on there. I don't know, but it just seems though that would be nice if we could clean that up as well. If that covers us to the playground.
Well,
You
and
know.
that's how I feel about the nature trail. Just out of respect for John DiCarlo, I want that cleaned up and, you know, the family and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So,
All right.
so
I think
it's a
we're
work
gonna
in
hit on,
progress.
yeah, I think we're gonna hit on some other projects a little further along, Tony, so we can, you know, always double back if we don't, okay? But at
Okay.
least, yeah. Next one, fall field contracts. Nellie, do we have any for?
Not yet.
fall? Okay,
So I'm thinking we'll have them for the next meeting. Both soccer teams have them and are working on them. I know Freetown Lakeville Soccer has a really good sign up amount this time around, so it should be good. But he's working on it.
now, is that for the Saturday soccer?
Yeah.
Just for Saturdays then?
Well, I think they do during the week and Saturdays, depending on the age group. The younger kids are only Saturdays, if I'm remembering correctly. And the older kids, as you go up in age, they'll take an evening practice, like an afternoon, late afternoon practice during the week, and then they'll do Saturdays as well.
So, so are they identifying when and where they'll be playing?
They should, it's on the contract.
Okay, so we just want to make sure that, I think, just so we can keep track of who's where, that's all. But I guess we'll have those for next meeting then. If there's, I don't know, if anybody have any other contract?
Joe, that's going to be tough to do. You've got, roughly 40 teams with different coaches. You coach soccer. It changes on a weekly basis due to the kids, what they got going on in school and what have you. I'm just saying it's going to be tough
Right, but I just like to know
to
if
nail
we
them
have,
down.
yeah, and I understand, I know the Saturday one, I know that's, a free for all, I understand that, but I'm just thinking the other older kids, if we knew what night, that maybe, what nights aren't being used. So if somebody else wants to, use it, we say, hey, we know no one's here on Tuesday nights or whatever. To narrow it down somewhat. They don't have free reign to play anytime they want, I'm assuming, but
There's teams there every night.
as long as they got a contract for that there, I guess. I mean, I just want to make sure that they not sign up for one night and they're using all 7 nights or something. I don't know. We should have a little bit of knowledge of who's playing when and where, right? That's just Paula.
Have you already had these contracts signed?
No, they haven't been reviewed yet.
Okay. My suggestion is that we enter onto the contract something about food trucks. If they're going to be using food trucks for their events, we should put a note, we should put some kind of verbiage in there about them using food trucks, because there's nothing on the contract that declares any information about food trucks, and I think it's important to be there.
But if they get it themselves, what's the problem? Nothing, it's nothing to do with us.
Well, what it has to do with is we know that they're going to have a food truck there, and that obviously it's past inspection or Board of Health or whatever. But I do think that we should enter that onto the contract.
Well, I mean, right now, the fall contracts, we've sent out already, so we missed it on those. We can amend it for the spring ones. But like I said, they already have the ones in their hand they're filling out. And again, I just gotta be careful. I mean, some people sometimes get an ice cream truck brought in. Do we consider that as the same as a food truck? I mean, doing anything with it. It's not our responsibility. They're getting it. I don't really care myself.
No, I think that we should be aware of that, and we should make sure that we have documented that and they have indicated that. Whether it's a food truck, an ice cream truck, whatever you want, whatever food is involved, I think we should know.
All right, no more discussion. Move on to the next item.
So we're
Loon
going
Pond
to take care of that in the spring? Is that your
Well-
answer?
Well, we're gonna review the contracts in the off season again. That's what we try to do every year. I think we have to look at some things on a contract such as fees and everything else, so maybe we can amend it at that time.
Okay,
All right, we'll do that in the off season, all the contracts all together. Yeah. Item 4, Loon Pond Lodge, payments received, concession stand discussion. Nellie, I think this was yours.
Yes, hi, okay. Hold on one second. I'm
Give
sorry.
me the startle, you.
You did for a second there. I wasn't prepared. I lost my agenda in front of my face for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let me get that up first. Okie dokie. Okay. So payments received. So we wanted to, I've kind of already given you that. There we are. In terms of the payments received. So it really only just started in May. We had one event in May, which we got payment for. Then we went into June and July. June only had just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And July, about the same. So they are paid up to date with the events that have gone on so far. So the next payment that we're going to receive is August 15th through the 31st. So that should be coming soon.
All right, Darlene,
How much money?
Do you want to know like the total?
I do.
Okay,
mean-
hold on. Thus far. Okay. Thus far, it's 14,500.
Okay.
To us. Now, you have to take into account that some of those events, there are already deposits that we had received from SEM that are taking away from some of that revenue because we already have those funds.
so we
Scott?
may have more, Nellie?
Well, yeah, so anything that was already deposited with SEM is in a different account because that's how we had to handle it when we transferred the money from SEM to us in December of that year. So that was kind of separated. So the 14.5, it takes away any of those deposits because we already have those money. The 14.5 is just what Boston Tavern has received and given to us.
Okay, but the total Loon Pond Lodge deposits is more than 14,000 up thus far.
Yes,
Scott, you had something?
I have a question for Nellie. Are we getting a summary every 2 weeks?
twice a month, yeah.
So, I mean, I think if nothing else, we should be at least reviewing that at the start of each meeting after it comes in, so that we as a board know what's come in and what we're getting. And that way you can sit there and say, well, here's a deposit, so that's already been deposited. Here's what we got, and so here's the net, and you can explain it so that the rest of the board understands what's come in and what's hasn't come in.
I can give you the sheets. They email me the sheets
Yeah,
to
no,
match up to the check that they provide.
Yeah.
And that's easy enough to forward over to everybody so you can see the event by event.
Well, I think the board should review it personally. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
up to Joe, but I think we should review it. We should take 5 minutes and go over what's been received each
Yeah.
2 weeks.
And that's a good point, Scott. We'll add that as on the next agenda, as a constant agenda item, recurring agenda item, what revenues have been from Boston Tavern. Good point.
Thank you.
Darlene,
Does that money come right to us, or is that going in the town budget, town money? Is that coming
No, that goes to us.
to us? Okay, so what do we have for money then? Like, so when I'm looking at this, begin discussion, payments received, concession stand discussion. So we have 14.5 in the bank? Is that what we have right now, or do we have any money to start with?
We had the SEM
Well-
deposit to start with, really.
Right. Understood, but no, I don't, I guess it's a moot point, whatever that money is, but as of right now, we have 14.5 that we know of.
We
Right.
have 14.5 of the amount that's budgeted.
Scott,
Darlene, can I just
Um,
say something?
Darlene, yeah, just a second, you can add in, Darlene, just to help you out a little bit, it's not necessarily what we have in the bank, and what we can spend, we have a budget, and that's what we have to adhere to. We can spend all of that budget in the first month if we don't spend any more.
Right,
We have a budget that the town has okayed, and in a sense, they're bankrolling us if we don't have some of that money up front, so it's not necessarily what we have in cash that is a concern, as long as we're staying within our budget and not going over our budget means, and hopefully our budgeted income comes in where it's budgeted to come in.
Tony, you have your hand up?
Yes, so that too, though, when we're talking about all of these different improvements that we want to do, it's essential that we create the line items that are there for specific projects. Because if we don't have line items, it's hard to say that we need, something gravel for a road. When it's all muddled together, it doesn't seem to get where it needs to go.
Yeah, we're going to be working on those buckets soon, and then as a group, we'll get together and go through the budget in September, October timeframes. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Right.
Excuse me, can I ask, at this time, we're talking about payments received. Does John Pond Park have some, and Ted Williams Camp have some update in terms of what they've taken in thus far for the season?
It
So
depends on what it is, but if it's field rentals, it goes under field rentals, all of them.
Yeah, but does it go towards our budget? Like if you're talking
Yes.
about 14.5. All right, so how much have we taken in from the other two parks?
It's
So-
on the Excel spreadsheet that she sent out. If you follow the income and then follow the tabs at the bottom, you'll be able to see what's come in the month of July. You'll see that there's money for soccer fields, the women, blooper ball, some other small things. I can't remember them exactly. But Nellie has a list of what's come in for income. It's on the tabs down the bottom.
Where did you put that, Nellie? I'm sorry, I don't have it.
It's within the Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, I guess I didn't see it. I didn't realize yet you had sent us one. Did you send us an Excel?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look for it. Thank you.
All right, so like I said, obviously, we'll talk more and more about the budget going on the road, but yeah, all that stuff is included wherever the money comes from. It's all accounted for. Nelly, yes.
Just to specify, the sheets from Boston Tavern, do you want me to give you guys the past ones going from May onward, or do you want me to just start sending them from here on out?
Why don't we take them from May until the end of August?
Nelly, do you do a summary of those sheets? Or do you just-
There's a lot of information on them. Their sheets might be easier to read because we still have outside food vendors versus Boston Tavern food pricing.
I just don't know what information is on those sheets, if we should be sharing it, because it might have the parties' names on there of the events. Maybe we don't want to do that.
Does not have the party's name on there. It's just the date.
All right, let's you and I take a look at what those sheets are, and maybe we'll decide in the next couple of days. So we can get information out to everybody. All right. All right, now do you want to talk about the concession stand update? You've had some discussion with Boston Tavern on that one?
Yes, I did ask Boston Tavern if they would be interested in taking over the concession stand, primarily Ted Williams Camp, since it's right there, and for right now, but I did explain how we have 3 throughout, and they are interested. They do
Wow.
want to tour the building, though. So I was hoping someone would give them a tour, that way we could start discussions. I know Darlene and Scott are connected to the lodge as representatives, but just to get them in there to see the building and then seeing if they have interest would be great, because at that point, after that, we need to get the town involved as well, because it'd be a new contract.
Right. The building was open on Sunday, the snack bar, so, they could.
I mean,
walk
it's an
in.
it seems like it's an outstanding building. You know, the roof looks like it needs some work, but there's power in there. There's 2 windows, the 4 fields right around it.
Are you
I
talking
don't-
about Ted Williams Camp?
Yes.
The snack bar at Ted Williams Camp?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like, you know, it'd be an outstanding opportunity for somebody like Boston Tavern that is in the business of food service, with 4 fields directly around it, with power and you know, it's really ready to go. I mean, you pop a cooler in there. There was some coolers in there. I don't know if they work or not, but you know, I'm sure there'll be
Tony,
little
we had
improvement.
we had a freezer over at Clear Pond Park that wasn't being used in the employees snack, not snack, in the employees office where the lifeguards were. I don't know
Mhm.
why it was there, but it wasn't being used, and it's a freezer. Maybe
well, I
that can be
mean,
used.
I think that, you know, I'm willing to go over there and talk with them, but we can mention that as something that can be part of the concession stand then. If we don't need it, we can move it over there and it can be used for frozen food.
Nellie, do we want to identify one person from this group, to work with Boston Tavern on that? I mean, Tony has volunteered to maybe show him at the snack bar, if that's possible. You want to do that?
Gonna have to get the keys.
Yeah, like I said, it was unlocked on Sunday. Tony and I walked right in.
Ted Williams Camp?
Yeah.
Really?
There was baseball stuff in there, softball things, people are storing stuff. I mean, I'm not, as far as the locks in the park system go, I was under the impression that we're using the green locks for our buildings, and there's several buildings there that don't have green locks on them. So I think that that's something that we have to identify as a to-do project.
The reason there's no green lock on it is because everybody and their brother has the key to that's in baseball. And that was the whole idea, was not to be handing those keys out all over the place. That's why we got all new locks and new keys. They had been supplying us a key so that we could get into it, because we needed to get into it because the irrigation system is in there.
So
You're talking about the green locks that we have on all the parks, Scott?
Yes, we don't want to hand them out to. We don't want to hand them out to baseball, because then everybody and their brother will have a key.
Oh,
But
they needed to get in there because of the irrigation.
Right. So they had their own locks and gave us a key. So we haven't got a key in a couple of years. So my assumption is that they've changed the lock. They usually do change it each year. So we would have to get the key from them if it's not locked up.
So I got a question. The irrigation controls are in there. Who controls that? That's not baseball controlling that, is it?
No,
So why do they need access for it? Because they're not using it.
they don't need access for it. It was just, that's where they put it.
No, why do they need access to that snack shack now? No one's using it. It's just a storage, it's a junk room now, but they're not running the snack bar. So can't we just put our lock on it and don't give them a key? They don't need access to it, right?
If they're not running it as a snack stand, yeah, it shouldn't be a storage shed.
Okay, because there were old trophies in there and just crap in there. Don't know
Yeah,
who-
I haven't been in there in years. I haven't been in there
I'm
since I ran it. So, if they're not
I'm
using it
talking
as a
about the
snack
new
stand,
lock.
we should do something
It
with
should
it.
be, well, it should be locked with our green lock, the new ones that are on our parks.
Yes, if they're not using it as a snack stand. I thought they were still using it as a snack stand, so that was my mistake.
Yeah, it looked
But
like.
they
So
need
that's
to get
why
their,
we're-
Wow.
we need to have
That's
them
why
get
we're
their stuff
offering.
out.
Okay. who wants to touch base with baseball to do that? To let them know that we're gonna take it over, and it's gonna get their stuff out of there.
I don't mind. I'll do it.
All right, you don't mind? Yeah,
Mm-mm. I'll do it.
okay.
Okay.
So then maybe we can get Boston Tavern in and take a look at it.
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right. All right, next one. Begin discussion on creating a 3-year plan for the parks. This is something that I put on there. I sent out information to everybody. Just what my sort of plan and a vision was for the parks. What I'd like to see is all of us put together like a phased approach for the parks. And I'll just read what I sent out here. I figured the phase 1, I broke it into phases. The first phase is a review of the parks to see what needs immediate improvement. So one of the quick hits of things we can do at the parks to spruce them up, bring them back to life. For example, paint existing buildings, spread some sand if we need to. Well, just some things that a quick hit we can do that doesn't take a lot of money. Tony and I walked around Ted Williams on Sunday and made a quick list of stuff we saw, that little things that need to be done. I think we'll share it with everybody. But I think if we did that for all parks, all 5 parks, it'd be nice to have. And then we can identify, well, what ones should we work on? Do we need volunteers to help us out or whatever? But I think we got to look at stuff to fix up the parks, what's existing now, just a quick hit type thing. You know what I'm saying? Replace a little hole in the fence, a quick little paint on this, replace a rotted board there, things like that should have been let go. So I think we need to do that. A second phase would be like a second year is a 2-phase approach, is like look at what kind of PM or preventive maintenance we can do on some of the parks. For example, the basketball courts, maybe every 3 years we repaint them and fill in the cracks. So we don't wait 10 years and have a massive project. We have to replace the whole court. Things like that there, maybe for tennis courts or whatever. But look at items that we could do on a recurring basis to maintain the parks and maintain some of the buildings, things like that. And then the second part of that is what improvements do we want to make for the parks, such as do we want to add lights anywhere? Do we want to fix up the nature trail? So I like to identify things in different phases we can do to show we have a plan for the parks down the road. So even when we're gone off the board, other people can just carry on. So it's not a new event every time someone comes on, you know what I'm saying? And then the third phase would be, what else can we bring to the parks, additional sports, additional activities. So get like a vision of the parks down the road. Like I said, I sent this out to everybody. I'd like to get your input, and I mean, maybe it's a work in progress, but I think we need to have something that we can show year after year that we're trying to improve and maintain the parks. You know what I'm saying? So any thoughts on that? Any feedback? Am I crazy, or is it worthwhile to do?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Good idea.
I'm sorry.
Paul?
I didn't hear what Scott said.
I'm sorry, I said I think it's a good idea.
No, yeah, I think so too, and that's what we were sort of looking at when we had our questionnaire going. But that's another part of the agenda, I think. But
So
very similar.
I also, like I said, I put down the 5 parks because we want to, don't forget, we do have that Shaw Park and that Dick Van Dyren. We might not do anything, but maybe there's something we can do down at Shaw Park to add, more grill stands. There's 1 or 2 out there. Maybe we have to take a look at that park. Maybe we can do something over there, something small, but make it look nice. Maybe we can, landscape it a little bit. I don't know, but that is under our control. So that's why I think I want to make sure we think about all 5 parks when we look at this vision for what we want to do. All right. So any input at any time, but I'll be sending some stuff up. But just to start to get you thinking of what we can put into each one of those buckets for the immediate improvements, the recurring events, long range improvements, and then what else can we bring to the parks? Other sports, other activities, other things like that. Like a wish list, but maybe we can do some things. Now maybe we can get some feedback based on the survey down the road and do that. So that was my thought on the 3-year plan for the parks. All right. Next one, it says review annual activity spreadsheet for the parks and update accordingly. I sent out a spreadsheet for everybody to take a look at. This is something that they had before. I know Scott and them had it. I sort of modified it. It's a list of each park and what we need to do every month. Maintenance and things like that. Just a little mind jog is what we need to do for each park on a monthly basis. So take a look at that. We need to update it, obviously. I just took what was on the old one and put on the newer one, but there's a lot of stuff I think we don't account for. So, you might want to take a look at, like, say, Clear Pond, look at each month, what we should be doing each month. It's not just a June and July type of thing, you know what I'm saying? What we do in the what should we do in the off season, things like that. Same thing, Ted Williams, the other two parks, and then John Pond. So like I said, I started it, I sent it to you guys, take a look at it and update it. Start putting some stuff in there. We can talk about it as we go, but I like to have that done in the September, October timeframe, so we know first of the year, what should we do in January? What needs to be done for the parks? And each month, what's on there? So try to keep us on track. All right. So again, any feedback would be great on that, but I think it'd be a nice document. Even for new people come on the board, they'll know what's expected at each park by month. All right. Moving right along. Old business. First one, update on tennis court improvements. What I did, and I'll send it out probably tomorrow. I was hoping to do it over the weekend. I just put an overview of the project with the breakdown of the 3 courts we had, so people can take a look at it. And then maybe next week, next meeting, we can get some more discussion going on there. But the quotes range from a total of 25,000 to 48,000. We don't have that much available. We don't have 48,000 available. So I think we need to take a look at just exactly what we need to be done on those courts. And I said, I'll break it down and send it to everybody, so we have on the same sheet of music. Scott.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I believe there was a sum set aside under the capital projects on the last town meeting for that.
There was. I think it was 25,000.
28. You put in for 28, Joe. Is that
Okay.
what they?
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we have 28. So I think we have to and I don't want to take the other 2 bids and throw them away, but I think we need to look at it, and I'll break it down for everybody to see. We can talk about it. Maybe we have to go back to those places and put a bid and say, hey, can we do just this? What will be a price for this? Tony and I walked around there on Sunday, looked around. Maybe others might want to do the same thing. Cracks is the big one, obviously, and see what else we can do. Maybe we can do it, in phases a little bit. Maybe we can't do everything, but at least get it so it's a safety. It's not a safety hazard with the cracks. Then look at how we want to paint it, and maybe have 4 pickleball courts painted and all that, and then 1 for tennis, and just get it back so we can advertise. Yeah, we have pickleball and we have tennis over there. Paula.
Yeah, there's a question about whether or not we should be putting in pickleball nets. If you're going to go through the trouble of doing all the painting and all of that, then we should be putting in a couple pickleball nets, at least on one of the courts. Let the teams, if they want, bring in theirs for another court. But there's no sense in doing all this work without installing 2 pickleball nets. Just an FYI.
I was thinking, what I was thinking in the short term, but for right out of the gate, is to have those portable ones, the ones that the group before was using, so they can put them out there, so we don't put holes in the courts and all that, because I think that still works, the portable ones, right? So they don't have holes in the courts. In case you wanted to play tennis on, you wouldn't be able to with holes in it. That's the only thing I'd say maybe we have to take a look at, because those work pretty well to what they had before, the portable nets for the pickleballers, and keep the main net there, because they like the net in between the courts to keep the ball from going from court to court.
Right.
But something to look at. I mean, maybe we have to buy nets, to your point, and just have them there if people want to use them. Maybe we supply them.
Well, could we possibly do one of those courts with permanent pickleball nets and then use something like that?
We can take a look at it, sure. Yeah, it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be this company doing, maybe we have to do someone else, but we'd have to see how that goes, yeah. Take a look at that. But I said, I think we want to show we have pickleball down at Ted Williams as well as tennis. And let's see how we can fix up these courts here, all right? So I'll send the information out so everybody will have 3 quotes, and then we got to figure out how we're going to do it within budget. Okay? Any other discussion on that one? All right, next one, update on the Lakeville Haunted House asbestos abatement. I spoke to Nate about an hour or so ago. Tomorrow is the asbestos survey that's taking place tomorrow morning. After that, he's got another company doing the asbestos abatement. Maybe we won't need it, but it's not the same company that does it. You can't have the same company do both things, I guess, according to the state. So one's gonna do the survey, then another company comes in and does the abatement, and then after that, we're looking at demolition. He's thinking the survey gets done tomorrow, maybe the abatement was in a couple weeks afterwards, and then after that, demolition. So it is moving forward. We'll have some idea of what they find asbestos wise soon. His concern is maybe the roof, the shingles or the paper on top, or maybe some of the stuff in the old bathroom area, but I don't know. We'll find out. So that's the latest and greatest on the haunted house. Next one, Lakeville Arts and Music Festival. Needed information for the brochure. I think this is Tony's.
Yeah, I got some information for Clear Pond Park. It looks like it basically reads that it was 68 acres owned by the town of Lakeville. The site has a walking trail around the pond. Park's sandy beach venue is open to residents. The park has lifeguards during the summer, supervised swimming. It provides snack bar, swings, seesaws, jungle gym, basketball court, mini golf, picnic tables, grills, a wheelchair for handicapped. Staff provides a clean, safe, and healthy open space for all to enjoy. Park is open from the end of June till August and is supervised by a full-time director. So that's what I have for that. I have some pictures for the park, which will go on the brochure.
So what do you need, Tony?
I mean, if you guys have some pictures of like people playing baseball at John Pond Park would be good. Maybe just a quick history when it was kind of incorporated or developed. Say that softball and baseball is played there. As far as Ted Williams Camp goes, I think there's quite a bit that's offered down there. And obviously there's a little bit more history. I do have some old flyers that were developed for Ted Williams Camp a long time ago, so they're kind of historical. But maybe just a short overview of that and some pictures as well.
I'll give you the stuff from Claire for John Pond. I'll do that in the next couple of days. All right. If someone else want to volunteer to do the Ted Williams piece, give a little background of what the park offers.
I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit of background. I can snap some photos. Again, it consists of, is it four fields or 5 fields?
6.
6. Okay.
6
So
baseball fields.
yeah,
Soccer
those are the
fields.
numbers. Just a couple of numbers like that I just want to put in. How many baseball fields? How many soccer fields?
I can work something up.
Horseshoes, sanded volleyball courts, and then because we've agreed to have the booth on October 2nd, right, Nelly, from 10 to 2. 10 to 4. Okay, so I think I was volunteering some of the time, but
Not a full day? Come on
Your hours
now.
have been extended.
okay, so 10 to 2 for me.
Hold on, let me double check.
I think
Yes,
it's right. I think Darlene, you got something?
Yeah, I have tons of weddings that weekend. I can't work.
Charlene, you got weddings every week.
I do. Thank you. Thank you, COVID.
which is good. Yeah.
Which is good, but yeah, I can't. I'm actually marrying a couple that day too, so I know I can't help you.
It is
what?
10 to 4.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll do what we can do. I'll have some brochures printed up and just try to give some people some information.
Yeah, good.
Nellie, would it be possible for you to forward me whatever you have the last couple of years or even last year, our annual report that goes in the town book?
Yes,
Because you should have that on Word or something.
I do. Yes.
If you could forward that to me, that would give me a little. I've got some
Yes.
stuff already written down while we're talking, so I'll have something for you in a couple of days, Tony.
All right. Awesome.
Good. All right. Anything else on old business? Darlene? Oh, you're on mute.
All right, sorry. I just have a couple of things. The Boy Scout troop Eagle Scout ceremony scheduled for October 1 is canceled, off the table. Okay, just want to put that out there. And then the bench has been ordered for the soccer field, the people that were raising money for the bench in memory of Austin Lopes, the boy that died a couple months ago. I'll keep you updated on that. We haven't picked a spot to put it yet, but the bench has been ordered. So it's coming.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Good.
And Tony, back to the that day, October 2nd, maybe I could give you a sign up sheet. Maybe people would sign up to help clean up the playground.
Sure, I can throw that out there.
Cool. Okay, thanks. Thank you. That's it. That's has anybody, and the other thing about old business, has anybody been to inside Loon Pond at all? Looks amazing.
Good.
Anyway, if anybody's been in, it looks great. They're doing a great job. I was there Sunday and real impressed with the improvements and what they've done in there. Looks really nice.
Good. Just one other piece on the old business. Like I hit on earlier, like I said, Tony and I went around the park on Sunday. I think we need to do the same thing for the other parks. If you guys, want to take some time, like an hour sometime, just walk around and what's visually needs to be improved, or is it a broken fence, a broken something that's going to be fixed in kind of quick hits. You'd be amazed when you walk around and see some things that we walk by every day that we should be fixing up. It's short money. I think it's the right thing to do. Once again, you walk by something all, every day. If it's all scratched up, not painted, we can paint it. Things like that there. So take a look at the other parks if you could. Someday if you're driving down Highland Road and see Shaw Park, pull in there, take a walk around there. There is a board there, I think a sign of something by the woods there. I haven't looked at it yet. Maybe we need to spruce it up. I don't know. See what it says. But once again, that falls under us as well. So we just want to see what we can do to clean up the parks. Okay. Moving on to correspondence from the clerk. Nellie, how about the baseball field request?
Okay, yes, we have a request from a parent who would like to hold a small birthday gathering for her child. They want to play wiffle ball. They want to use field 6 on Friday the 3rd from 3 to 6. So she was asking if it was free. The field is open for the day. She's asking if there is a fee to do this.
I mean, just my opinion, obviously we want everybody else's. I would say we let them have it. Obviously, there's no fee. It's a good thing to do. See kids out there playing wiffle ball. You never know. Maybe it can turn into something down the road. I think it's a good
past history. It is still a park. And if somebody wanted to bring their kids in and have a birthday party in the park, there's never been a fee. I mean, the only time there's a fee is when they use the lodge and we get rentals and food and all that stuff. But if they're going to get a bunch of kids to play wiffle ball, I think it's a great idea to get them outside doing something.
How's everybody else feel?
I think it should be free.
I agree.
All right, so we want to take a vote on this, Nellie, or
Sure, make it official.
all right, make it official.
Make a motion. It's free for the birthday party.
Second.
Okay. How's everybody feel about making it free for that day for those folks for the birthday party? Paula, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tony?
Aye.
Darlene?
Aye.
All
Scott?
right.
The ayes have it. Birthday party it is. Also let them know, hold on, Scott, for a second. I lose my train of thought here. We do have that bathroom in the Pines right there. One half is open, so they can use that. Hopefully we have the other side fixed.
No, it's not
Cool.
open.
Once the woman's side's open,
Shouldn't be.
it's been open all
Nate
season.
said it's supposed to be closed.
Well, you talked about the sink part, because they don't want anybody filling water up, drinking out of the sink. But to wash their hands in, as long as they're not drinking out of it. But it's been open. The other side, we're still waiting for Teddy to see if he can get a new toilet in there and sink. That's supposed to be happening anytime soon. So, if not, it's been open. If we want to close it, we have to decide that. But it works out nice if they're playing ball right there. They can use that bathroom.
We've always used it. Now all of a sudden we can't.
I think the concern was the water, because the water comes out of a well, and we don't want people drinking it because we don't test it.
I know.
So if we put a sign over there that says for not for consumption, maybe I'll be all right over the sink. So just for hand washing only. Or we put a hand washer, stations in there, just shut the sink off and put one of those hand sanitizer things in there if we want to do that. How do you feel about that? Either way, I guess.
I didn't think it was open.
Yeah, the one half is. The other half
I believe
is
it's
locked.
locked.
Yeah.
I believe it's locked.
The female side is unlocked. It's been unlocked all season. The boys' room side,
Have you been there lately?
I was there on Sunday. Yeah, it's open.
Really?
Okay, then someone opened it because it was locked. After Nate told me it should be locked, I locked it.
All right, well, the green
Someone
lock
unlocked
is,
it.
the green lock is locked, but it's open. You know what I'm saying? It's hanging on there. So, do we want to just put a sign over the sink and say, do not drink this water? And allow them to use the bathroom. I don't know if anybody's there going to drink out of the sink, but I don't think anybody's anybody filling any water bottles at all, but we can put a sign there that says it for hand washing only. What does everybody think?
If that'll work, I don't know.
I don't know either.
How about the other restroom? Can't we open that for the day?
What other one?
The big one.
Yeah.
The
I
big
mean,
one.
it usually is, but it's a ways away from the field. If you got kids playing, all I'm saying is it's a bathroom right there where they're playing. I guess I'll follow up with Ted if they get the other side open, and then we'll get signs made up over the sinks. Do not drink, hand washing only, and we'll keep them open. I'll pass that by and Nate and see if that suffices. How's that? All right. Okay.
Fine.
All right.
Joe,
Yep.
before you get too far, I had some more old business. Were you able to, did you see the quotes that I had gotten for the parking?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
The second one was a lot better price than the first one that Franklin was talking about.
Yeah, and I said, and like I said, Donnie and I were over on Sunday. We got to figure out. I guess the thought. I know you and I said the same thing. What can we do to get some of it open, to get some use on those fields?
Well, if you look at that quote, the first quote is for the 400 by 150, which is right when you come off the driveway. It's just that parking area in front of you.
Okay.
Not all the way around, that hooks around and goes out towards the street. That was the second quote. And the one that Franklin got was 60 grand for the whole thing, 39,000 for the 400 by 150, which you saw the other two quote. The other quote that I got was a lot better price than that.
Yeah. So how do we want to proceed with that? I mean, I guess I'll ask the whole board here. The idea is we want to get some type of use out of those new fields, to get some type of a parking area open safely so people can use it. And that's what we're trying to do. Like Scott said, we only got some quotes to do some work, maybe open up some of the parking area, because it's a huge parking area, well, opportunity for parking. But we're trying to use some of it so people can use those two nice fields.
Joe,
So
how
right
can they
now, go ahead, Paula.
How do they get in there? I know there's a gate, but isn't that like a dirt road? Do you have to pave that too?
It's paved already.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember now. It is. Okay. So how much were the other quotes?
I can't remember exactly. One was for the 400 by 150. One quote was, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, 20 something thousand. It was a lot less than the one that they had given to Franklin.
Yeah, I gotta take a look. I don't remember the top of my head. Tony?
That was the cheapest one?
That's with asphalt?
No,
No, that's just
No.
grading.
that's
That's great.
grading the tailings that are there, regrading them and compacting them, and then bringing in 4 inches of material I believe similar to what's over in the soccer parking lot, so that the water could permeate through it as well as run off it.
Was that a local quote?
Yes, both
Okay.
of them had done work for us One was from the person who built the fields, and one was from someone who did the parking lot, the drainage for the parking lot near the karate studio.
Okay.
Joe, did you have a chance to talk to that other party?
No, I didn't. I was gonna go there this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told me it was like 400 or 410 by 150.
Okay.
And it was 4 inches of material and then regrading what's there.
Now, last time we spoke, I know Doug wanted to use it in the fall. Is that still something we think he still wants to do? If we can get this parking lot figured out?
Well, if we can get the parking lot figured out, I haven't talked to him since our last meeting.
Because there's a big pile of telephone poles over there. I wouldn't mind using some of those. Help out with the parking lot, lining it out over at John Pond. But I guess for not knowing, I mean, I'm a hands-on. I gotta see things. Is there any way we can go down there, like mark out with a whatever what we're talking about, so people can go by and take a look at what we're talking about, what area?
Yep.
Trying to visualize 400 by 150 is kind of hard for not knowing what area we're talking about.
Well, they all did it by the computer. They took a picture of it, and that's how they did it.
I mean, because there's a lot more space available other than that area you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so is that when you first come in on the right there?
No, I think it's when you first come in and straight ahead.
Okay.
It's not utilizing what's on the right at this
Okay.
point. That was the second quote.
All right. So money-wise, we have some left over from the fields, correct?
No, I believe if you ask Nellie, that got turned back in, and it's too bad because part of this project was doing more irrigation.
But is that something we can use to rename it for this activity, for the parking lot?
We'd have to ask for it at town meeting.
Okay, that's what we talked about. Okay. So I'll try to get a hold of the other company, give us an idea, but if all you other commissioners, you might want to go down there and just take a look at what we're talking about. Two real nice fields, but it's a massive parking area opportunity. We want to try to see what we can do there to get some use, get it started this fall. And Doug had a nice approach here, get some football in there and all that, so that could generate some money for all of us. Commission, that is, not us personally, but the commission to do some things for the parks. So if you guys could take a look at that, we'd like to move this thing along a little bit. So maybe we have 1 or 2 commissioners working together to try to push this thing forward. All right.
I can meet anybody down there if you'd like.
I'd like to meet you there, Scott.
You name the time.
All right, I'll text you.
Okay, great.
All right. Next one. Yeah, we're all set on that one. The church beach use request. Nellie?
Yes, I think I've been keeping everybody updated on that one. Chief Perkins has sort of been the representative for his church group. They would like to hold a baptism, so they were looking for a beach to do it in. I felt that Clear Pond might be a little bit too complicated since it's locked and we'd have to open it up. So we began speaking about the beach that's off the trail at Ted Williams Camp, which is nice and large and gives them space and such, and we have a good amount of parking. So they're looking at the date of September 12th. We do have an outdoor event on September 12th, but they'd be using the beach where the outdoor event is just going to use the field across from the lodge. There is about 10 individuals being baptized, but the whole congregation would be invited.
That was a total of 80 people.
They're estimating that because the whole congregation would be invited, so they're not sure how many people would want to go versus not.
Now, the other question, you said that Clear Pond was discussed, but not, not considered any further. Why wouldn't, it seem like it'd be an ideal spot to have Clear Pond, because you got the parking, it's an individual, I mean, your whole group would be there. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but would they consider Clear Pond if we put it out there again?
I think so.
I mean,
What do
we
you
can
guys
give
think?
Joe, we can give Mr. Perkins a key and just get it back from him.
I
He
agree.
has a key.
Yeah, I know he does.
Well,
Yeah.
Tony, how do you feel about Clear Pond being used for baptism? You're with me as a liaison.
I mean, if it's really not going to work out at Loon Pond, I think we can make it available. I mean, I don't have a problem going and unlock it in
Okay.
the morning.
Do we have any restrictions that we should be concerned with? All they're gonna do is use the beach, right?
Could we
Right, and
open
they
up,
were saying that they were providing their own lifeguard, right?
They have lifeguard and first responders as part of the congregation.
could we open up the bathroom for that day? Would that be a problem? If we gave them the
Yeah,
use of the place with the bathroom?
Who's gonna
Honestly,
clean it
if-
after? That has to be
Close it.
cleaned after.
Oh,
if they tell me the time that they're going to be there, I mean, I can go down there, unlock it, let them in. I think that if they were going to use the bathroom, then they would have to clean it.
We should ask that.
I mean, I can leave cleaning supplies in a bucket. Can do that. So, I put a note on it. So, if you use the bathroom, please clean it after you're done.
It would be from 10:45 to 12:30 would be the time frame.
Yeah, that's no problem. On September 12th?
Sunday, September 12th.
Till what time, Nellie?
10:45 till 12:30.
Okay.
All right, so you want me to go ahead and offer Clear Pond?
Should we vote on it?
Yeah, we have to. I just do it because you said, you mentioned that. For me, it seems like an ideal spot. They can have their own park to do their baptisms, nice parking area. I mean, we got it all right there. And we have a bathroom if we get the open form and all that. So, Darlene?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a problem with it at all, and that they'd have privacy. I think that they would have to close the gate when everybody's in so that people just don't show up thinking it's open.
Good point.
I buy and say, oh, I'm gonna go to the park, A little different than being at Ted Williams Camp.
And what was the date, Nellie?
September 12th.
Okay.
It could be a nice day, warm day, people pull in like, oh, let's go to the park today.
Oh, as soon
They
as
need
they
a
see the
private
gate
event.
open, they
They need
do.
they need a sign that says private event or something there. That's my suggestion, that's all.
if
We
you
can-
could put me in contact with the lead person, whoever it is, I can
Police chief,
coordinate.
the chief.
Oh, if it's the
Yes,
chief of-
it is
police?
the police chief.
Yeah.
And I can put you in contact with him. That's no problem.
Sure. I mean, I'll go down there, unlock it, go in, they do whatever they want to do, and then
Lock it
when
back
it's
up.
done, I'll just take a walk around, lock it back up, and all set.
I'll make a
Perfect,
motion that we, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we allow them to use Clear Pond Park on the 12th for their baptism event.
Second,
Just one question before we vote on it. So this is just a Clear Pond. Do we want to have an alternate vote for Loon Pond if they don't want Clear Pond?
Well, I could,
let a remender thing to say both.
yeah, both, either Clear Pond or Ted Williams Camp, whichever works out for them.
Second,
Okay, second it is. All right. The motion is to allow this group to use either Clear Pond or Loon Pond for their baptism on the 12th. All right, a roll call vote. Darlene,
Yes,
Paula,
Yes.
Scott,
yes.
Tony?
Yes.
All right, any discussion? Anything more? Looks like the ayes have it. Nellie, if you can make the communication with you and Tony to coordinate that, it'd be great. I think it's a good thing for us to do. It gives us a good attaboy, I think. Nellie,
To piggyback on that, he has asked if there will be a fee or if a donation should be made to the park. I don't know if we want to discuss a fee or anything.
I'd like to make a donation. That's great.
A donation? Especially.
We can
to
just-
Clear Pond.
We can just say a donation would be appreciated.
There you go.
perfect,
you go.
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, no, it's a good thing. Good. Okay, next one. Police request to use Clear Pond for training.
Yes.
Nellie,
I did share that with everybody, but I'll go ahead and read it again, just in case. So this did come from the police chief. The Lakeville Police Department recently formed a dive team to aid in underwater evidence recovery and search and rescue operations. The team, consisting of 5 Lakeville police officers, have already received training and certification. To hone their skills and maintain their certifications, they must conduct several dive hours throughout the year. The team is looking to become familiar with each body of water in the town of Lakeville and Clear Pond is important for familiarity. Clear Pond is also beneficial in a training scenario as it provides great visibility. I respectfully request permission for the Lakeville Police Dive Team to access Clear Pond utilizing the emergency gate key located at the police station. All training would be conducted when the park is closed and in a manner as to not burden the park in any way. Respectfully, Chief of Police Matthew J.
Like to make a motion, we allow him to do it at no fee.
Second,
Okay, the motion is to allow the police department to use it, Clear Pond, no fee for the dive team training. Roll call vote. Paula, how do you vote?
Yes,
Tony,
Yes,
Darlene,
yes,
Scotty?
Yes,
So be it. Allow them to use it. I just got one other thing. If for the back to the one with the church group there, could we amend I'll just make sure the motion states that, but it's no fee. We'll ask for a donation because we didn't vote on the no fee piece as part of the motion. So I just want to make sure that, I don't know if we have to make a second motion or we just amend the motion we just approved to say no fee for the church group. Because we didn't talk about fee.
just make it simple. I'll make a motion that we charge no fee.
Okay.
second,
All donations will be accepted.
All right. I just want to make sure it's clear. That's all. We have
I
a
second
second.
it.
Let's roll call vote. Paula, how do you vote on that one? No fee
Yes.
for the church group. Tony,
yes,
Darlene,
yes,
Scott,
Yes,
that's okay. So yeah, I just want to make sure we didn't miss that. So no fee and they can use it. Okay. That's all the items on the
Joe?
agenda. Oh,
Joe, well, under old business, we didn't, I had said that we were gonna revisit Ken Lally this week. And
okay.
I sent everybody an email from Ken on what he proposes to do in upgrades and repairs to the field. And he was just wondering how he's gonna be charged. Would he be charged as a local team, local league? If he's gonna bring his teams here? He'd be bringing 3 teams here for the fall and 5 teams for the spring.
Are they from Lakeville?
Some are from Lakeville, some are from Middleborough, some are from Taunton, just like most of the leagues we have now. They're from all over the place.
Didn't this usually fall out? And I'm just getting some information. Didn't he fall under AAU before? Wasn't like a?
Yes, he did.
So does he want to not? Do we want to revisit that? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Because if you read the email, he would first of all install new bases, a new pitching mound, new home plate, fix and repair the damaged batting cages, reconstruct and upgrade the old bullpen and mounds. And there's other things he can do, but this would be a great start for the fall.
Scott, where was that email? I don't remember seeing that.
I sent it today.
Oh,
Sorry, I just got it today.
okay. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. I didn't sound familiar. I'll take a look at that then.
In his consideration was that he'd be charged like a regular league rather than an AAU team.
What's the difference, Scott?
The AAU teams get charged $900 and they don't have to do anything. No repairs, no upgrades, no nothing. Whereas our local leagues and teams like Freetown Lakeville Soccer, Freetown Lakefield Baseball, Blooper Ball, which has people from all over the place, men's and women's, they get charged a $20 rate per player.
Mhm.
And that's all he's asking for. He's not asking to not pay anything. He's just asking to pay his fair share of $20 a head. And he's willing to do these upgrades for the fall. And then we'll work on another wish list for the spring.
Scott, just one quick one. I didn't have that email. Can you send it to me? I didn't get anything today from you.
I didn't either. I didn't
I
either.
didn't either.
Yeah, I was having a hard time sending it. I'll send it again.
If you could. Yeah, I mean, he thinks of a good one. I mean, it sounds like he's going to do a lot of stuff for the fields, which obviously would be a big help. Does anybody have any issues if we didn't charge him the AAU rate? We disbanded, got rid of that and went with the rate we charge everybody else per player fee of what, 20, whatever it is right now, $20.
Right, we'd
I didn't-
consider
I
him
did not-
our in-town Babe Ruth League is what we'd do because
Yeah.
they're not using it.
You need a motion for that?
I just a little discussion first. Anybody have any issues with that? I think he's a good citizen. If he's going to do work for us there, I think it warrants us to look into that maybe and to do that to help him out and help out the parks as well.
I mean, he's willing to do things and get charged what other groups are getting charged that don't have anybody from Lakeville playing in them. And they don't do anything for the parks. They just pay a fee. So, I mean, I think, you know, it's a bonus. We're still gonna get money from him, plus we're gonna get improvements.
I think it's good.
I do too. Do you need a motion for that, or what do you want to do?
I would think so.
Well, Nellie, just one quick, on the contract, then we wouldn't send him the AAU contract, we'd send him the regular baseball
Baseball.
contract. So I don't know if that case to be, do we need a motion for that? If he's gonna have a contract for the regular leagues. I don't know if that's motionable, if we needed that, if we reviewed and approved the contract based on that. See what I'm saying? Make any sense? I mean,
Joe,
can't
can we even vote on this because it wasn't on the agenda?
Well, that's my point. So what I would
It's
suggest,
old business. It was on last week's agenda.
right, but
Okay,
it's,
so,
right, but it's not on here. So my point would be, let's send them the contract for the regular, the non-AAU contract, because we have both. We're gonna review it next meeting anyway and vote on it, and we'll have that discussion then. We'll put it on the agenda to do that. But we'll send them the one for the Lakeville one. To your point, Scott, it's whatever it is, $20 per player. How's that?
Okay.
And we can review that letter that when you send it to us as part of that whole package. All right? That makes sense, everybody?
yeah,
Yes.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to discuss? We've hit the end of the agenda.
we were looking for input on the questionnaire, which is on Google Doc.
No,
We,
I sent everybody the questions. I did get some response,
okay,
and some people had some recommendations for it. So I think we have to do some
Yeah.
Okay.
tweaking on that.
I think we'll put that as an item next week, next meeting. Now, because I got some notes here, so I'll send those out before the next meeting, but maybe we can review that stuff as part of an agenda item next meeting. How's that? If that makes sense.
Tony, do you know what email you sent that to? For me?
I got 3 for you, Scott.
I know, that's
so.
why I'm asking. right. I'll check.
You know, some of them tried to, if they bounce back, one of them bounced back from you. So then I try to send it to the other one, but I'll go ahead and send it again.
Yeah,
Because it was developed on SurveyMonkey. And on SurveyMonkey, what you can do is you can put a variety of different choices. You can have multiple choice, you can have open-ended questions, you can have rating systems with like a 1 through 5. So I think that what we have to think about is whoever gets this survey, the town residents, they're going to have to go to a link, number 1. So that's going to take them a little bit of time. Once they pop up the link, it can be done on your phone. And then we want the questions to be as clear and as to the point as possible. And then do we want to have it, all the same format where we do multiple choice, or do we have open? I think that the open-ended questions are good, but I think it's hard to tabulate them, because then you get into where people will have a lot of different responses, and a multiple choice test, as you guys know, is very easy to tabulate and very easy to get concrete data from. I think was kind of my thinking when we were developing it. I do see both sides, though, that you can get some good, maybe towards the end, we have some more open-ended questions of what townspeople their suggestions that they want to make. But as far as the beginning of the survey would go, that we should agree maybe on some multiple choice things so that, we can get some real data that we're looking for with relation to the parks, and then, try to tailor what we're going to do around the townspeople responses.
I think also we're trying to limit it to 1 page. So it makes it tough to get all the questions on. And if you use multiple choice, it really makes it fit.
It won't matter if it's on 1 page on SurveyMonkey, because when you're on the computer or on your phone, you can just scroll. And even if it might look like, if we actually took all those questions and put them onto one document, it might be 3 or 4 pages. But that, it's more about the number of questions we think is appropriate for somebody, someone's attention span to be able to go through. I've taken surveys before where they're so long and drawn out that by the end of it, I'm like, what am I even taking a survey for?
It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to do a survey.
I think
And
10
that's
minutes
why it needs
is
to
long
be
as well.
Very
though.
precise and short.
Yeah, I think precise and short and to the point is very important, but I think 10 minutes is just too long.
Well, I'm saying less than 10 minutes, and that's the recommendation, but it could be
I would
but-
say 5. I would say about 5 minutes, that we're still, if we keep it about 10 questions, that we're going to get some decent data, more than we have, because we really don't have a lot, because it's hard to gauge exactly without questions on during election time or going out to the Arts and Music Festival. I'll be able to gain some information there from residents, but this will be a way that we can, look at some graphs and see some charts and say, oh, okay, well, to this question, this is what, 70% of people said. And I think that will be beneficial.
SurveyMonkey also analyzes all these for us at the end with the questions.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So if we're doing, if you had 10 questions and, the first one's multiple choice and again, 70% of people answered that way on the question, we'll be able to say something definitively about whatever question that we're asking. But again, it's important that we all take a look at these questions. Scott, I'll definitely get you those in a minute and then come back, have another discussion on it. I don't think we willy-nilly just want to throw things out there. It wants to be really thought of so that we can get the best responses possible.
So we'll add that as an agenda item for next meeting, but let's take Tony's information, whoever else's information, and let's kick the tires on it. Have questions and all that stuff to discuss the next meeting. How's that? That make sense?
Yep.
You want to decide on next meeting date? 2 weeks from today would be September 13th. I don't know if that's no holiday that I know of. So does that work for everybody? The 13th at 6:30?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Does someone want to make a motion to Nellie? Yes, ma'am.
Can we move it to 7?
What?
Can we move it to 7?
Yes. I say yes.
Why is
Sure.
that, Nellie?
Because it starts dance season.
Is this for one time only or
Aren't you
for the
little-
rest of the meetings?
Aren't you a little old to be dancing?
Well, I'm very good on stage. I just want to let you know.
Oh, I think she's referring to
Seen you
Dancing
drumming.
with the Stars.
We've seen the drumming thing you got going on too. But I think Tony's been asking for 7 o'clock for a while, so I think that's not a bad idea.
Okay, to keep since the meeting's been moving along kind of nicely, we'll say 7 o'clock on the 13th.
Let's try it out. Well, let's try it out.
And is that it? So, anybody want to make a motion to end the meeting? Anybody? We want to stay here?
I will.
I'll make the motion. We adjourn the Lakefield Park Commission meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Roll call vote. Paula, how do you vote? End the meeting or not?
Yes.
Tony,
Aye.
Colleen,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
All right, the power vested in me in the city of Lakeville. The Lakeville Park Commission meeting is adjourned at 7:49 PM. Thank you very much, folks. Have a nice rest of your